this out. You won't appreciate freedom if you've never been locked up. And I know some of y'all in here been locked up. I ain't talking about no holding cell, Caillou. That wasn't nothing but a holding cell, son. I'm talking about some of y'all really been locked up in here. Oh, but freedom hits different once you've been locked up. Now you can look back and say, I'll never be bound again. Anybody who can say, I'll never, somebody shout never. Boy, I'll never be, no, I ain't going back. Deacon, I'm not going back. Boy, I made the best of what I could do when I was in there, but I'm telling you now, I don't want to go back. Some of y'all saying, what, pastor was locked up? You better believe it. But now he's free. He's free indeed. Whom the Son set free is free indeed. Then I tell him, check the date now. That ain't nothing recent. Pastor been on the up and up here for a while. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord, as the old church used to say. We had a lady get up and testify on New Year's Eve, and she said, I thank God that I didn't allow my feelings to be turned into felonies. That took me all the way out. You ever had your feelings turned into felonies? Don't answer that. Put your hand down. Oh, my goodness. Here we are, y'all. We done made it to the first Sunday of the new year. Somebody should have put your hands together on that one. Clap like you mean it. Had to give me a drink on that one. Used to get a different kind of drink. Oh, but look at God. But no, when I said that y'all ought to clap like you mean it, because see, there's some of y'all who know good and well you didn't have no business. My goodness. But now here we are. Here we are. I don't know about you, but I'm grateful today. My heart is full. My heart is really full today. Just the fact, I know God, He knows what we don't know. I thank God He thinks ahead. The Bible says He knows the end from the beginning. We go from the beginning to the end, but He already knows the end from the beginning. So it doesn't matter what chapter you're in your book, the book is not over. And it's never too late to change the narrative of the script. But I thank God because this is not just the first Sunday of the new year, but today is the 5th. Today's the 5th, not that kind of 5th. As somebody said, if was a 5th, we'd all be drunk, but that's not that kind of 5th here. I'm talking about a different kind of 5th, and it's the number 5 represents grace. And I got to thank God for His grace. That song lined right up with God's grace, because it's only by His grace, it's only by His mercy that I'm free. Only by His grace and His mercy that you are free. Bible says in Lamentations chapter number 3 and verse 22 and 23, it says that it's only by His grace and His mercy that we are not consumed. Why is that? Because He renews it every day. I think God was smart enough to know we was going to exhaust our grace. I couldn't carry none over to today from yesterday. I used it all. I've been, I thank God His grace isn't like our grace as humans, because I think I wasted my grace with Pastor Ryan by about noon yesterday. You know when they start talking through, when they talk to you through gritted teeth? Okay. Yes, honey. I said, uh-oh, let me back up off that grace there a little bit. Oh, but I thank God because he knew the exact amount of grace I was going to need in his sight. So he allowed us to wake up to see another day. Somebody said it's another day to get it right. My goodness. You know, we were listening to a song this morning in worship, and the song said, I'm the reason why God made grace. Y'all look that song up from Kirk Franklin. It's a banger. He said, I'm the reason why God made grace. That might not mean anything to you because y'all are perfect and y'all ain't never done anything wrong. But for those of us who had a tainted past, those of us who have done things we didn't have no business doing, those of us who maybe slipped up and fell from time to time, we thank God for his grace. I think of how smart God was, and God, knowing that the number 5 represented grace, he gave man 5 fingers, he gave man 5 toes, he gave man 5 senses, he gave man 5 emotions. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, what does that have to do with grace? 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 senses, 5 emotions. Well, let me help you out. He gave us grace for the 5 fingers. He gave us grace for the 5 fingers because I think he knew that some of us were going to be using fingers in a way that they weren't designed to be used. Some of us are pointing the finger of an accusation, if you will. Some of us are, when cut off in traffic, not here. That's at the Presbyterian church that Pastor Ryan be wanting to go preach at. That ain't here, though. I know Blessed Lifestyle don't get down like that, though. They do? You, Demi, come on, man. Come on, man. He gave us 5 toes. What does that have to do with grace? The Bible talks about one thing that God hates is feet that run to mischief. My goodness, I'm in the book, y'all. I'm telling you. You think about the 5 senses, which are sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. I just believe that we hear some things we ain't got no business hearing. God, thank you for your grace. I believe that we say some things that we ain't got no business saying. God, thank you for your grace. I just believe that we see things that we know good and well we didn't have no business seeing. But God, I thank you for your grace. And then 5 emotions, which are joy, sadness, disgust, anger, and fear. My goodness. I just got to tell you that I know that I needed his grace at times when I got angry. He even gave me permission to be angry. He said, son, be ye angry and sin not. I just believe that even in moments of fear where he said, you don't have to be afraid because I've supplied you with grace, even to the point that I had David tell y'all that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? For thou art with, what's with me? Grace is right there with me. I thank him for his grace. I began to think about that, and I realized that we're just coming off of the year 2024. And our theme for 2024, can I just teach today? Can I? I don't want you to walk away without a takeaway. I just want to teach a little bit. Plus, I'm a little winded here. I'm out of breath. I done put on a couple pounds over the weekend. And Rev got the heat on high. So I'm just going to teach in here before I pass out. He on the phone. Who you on the phone with, Todd? It better be Jesus. He's security, so I'm going to let that slide over there. He might have an important matter. But our theme for 2024, we called it 2020 Door because it was the year. Help me out, Joe. It was the year of what? It was the year of the door. And I noticed that there were some doors that were open. Anybody have any open doors last year? And there were some doors that were closed. Slam shut. I like that. There were some doors that were locked. And Jimmy, there were some doors that were unlocked. There were some doors that automatically opened for us. And there were some doors that we had to manually open ourselves. Some of the doors were easy to open. And if I could be honest, there were some doors I had to all but kick in. I don't know about you, but I don't mind kicking the door in to get my blessing. I remember it was Jacob, wasn't it, who wrestled with him. He said, God, I will wrestle till you bless me. If I got to kick this door in, if I got to stay right here, if I got to push my plate away, if I got to get on my face, if I got to seek you harder, God, I'll do what it takes for you to bless me. But unfortunately, the doors that I listed are not the only doors that we were faced with. Because some of us, Steve, were faced with a revolving door. We're going to keep it real in here today. The thing about a revolving door is that if you're not careful, you'll find yourself right back where you started. The thing about a revolving door, S. Devon, is that if you're not careful, you'll find yourself just going in circles. I think it was Luther Vandross that said something about, how'd he say it, babe? Yeah. I like that. But Luther said, you got me going in circles. And one thing about the revolving door, Kaylee, you appear to be moving forward, but you never gain any momentum. I told you I want somebody to keep it real because there's some of you that went through the whole year of the door and you found yourself what seemed to be moving forward, yet you never made any momentum. Kind of like a car just spinning its tires. They call it a burnout. I heard Tony laugh back there because he is the king of the burnouts. That brother will, I think you put one foot on the gas and the other on the brake simultaneously, and you just burn and smoke starts to appear, and you ain't doing nothing but tearing up all that expensive tread on them tires. But that's how some of us spent 2020 door, just spinning our wheels. A revolving door is kind of like you coming to the altar and placing your problems at the feet of Jesus, and then when you get back up, instead of leaving the weight, the burden, and the problem there, we simply adjust the weight to the other shoulder and walk away with the same pain that we had when we got to the altar. Anybody ever walk away with the same pain? But my assignment for today is to help you to stop pampering the pain and instead to help you get rid of the pain. Because some weight is only beneficial when you get rid of it. Let me say that again. Some weight is only beneficial when you get rid of it. My son Caillou, he wanted to be a standout athlete. He wanted to have the advantage on the other kids. And so in high school, I decided that I was going to put him through this intensive training program. And I went and I got him a weighted vest. And I had him put the weighted vest on. Now the goal was to enable him to be stronger, to jump higher, to run faster, to have the advantage on the opponent, to stand out, to be better than the average. And so what I had him do was put this weighted vest on, and I would have him run the levee. You remember that, son? He would have to run the levee up and down and up and down. I said, don't quit, keep going, go. He would run it up, and he'd run it back down. He'd run it up, back down. I had him doing jumping jacks. I had him going forward and backward doing sprints. I had him doing the suicide drill where you run and touch a line and go back. Then you run and touch another line and you go back. And I had him doing all these different drills, jumping in place, jumping jacks, you name it. I had him doing that to the point that it would wear him out. And although the workout was great, it was a really great workout, Caillou couldn't see the results of the workout until he took the weight off.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
That's good.
Notice when he took the weight vest off, Todd, he can jump a little higher. He had some endurance. He could run a little faster. He had the advantage on the other. You think I'm playing? I'll show you videos of that boy jumping out the gym. He can dunk any way you want him to dunk. And he even sent me a video the other day of him dunking at the YMCA. And I said, okay, he still got it. That's a Mosey amen and clapped his hands since we opened this church. But my thing is that now brings forth the question, what is weighing you down? My first question would be, what is weighing you down? Look at your neighbor and say, what is weighing you down? And then quickly look at the other neighbor in case that is the neighbor that's weighing you down. I done started a fight up in there now. My next question is, Demi. That's when you know you catch them in trouble. You know, they doing something they ain't supposed to. They answer real fast, huh? The next question would be, what did you come here for? This is very important. I told you I just want to talk today. What did you come here for? That's actually the topic of my message today. What did you come here for? You know, Craig, there was a sermon, you and I had talked about it, that we preached, I don't know, sometime last year. I said, I didn't come this far just to come this far. The question that I pose to you today is, why did you come here? What did you come here for? Let's go to the scripture, because me asking you that question, I had to get that from somewhere. And I got that from Jesus. I want you to really think to yourself and find out, what did you come here for? You go to Matthew 11 and 28. I want to use the King James Version. Matthew chapter 11 and verse 28. Mama, you doing okay back there? We're going to pray. Do I have any believers in the house?
Yes.
I need us to just continue to pray. Because one thing I'll say about Lady Diane, and Pastor Ryan's going to go right back there and pray for her. And Lady Diane is dealing with a whole lot of different illnesses. The attack of the enemy is up on her. But she never stops pressing her way into the house of the Lord. That's, to me, that's strength, that's power, that's dedication. I asked her, I said, how are you feeling? She said, I'm here. That's good enough for me. The Bible here we find it says in Matthew 11 and 28, Jesus himself, he had gone on what I like to call a healing spree. And anybody know what a spree is? A spree is a period of uninhibited activity. That is just where you simply do things sporadically. And if I was to say shopping spree, I'm sure some of you women would know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you men in here too. I see Hank be coming up with all kind of new stuff. So I know he knows about a shopping spree. He be wearing Amazon out. But Jesus was on a healing spree. I say that because you found him. He was giving sight to the blind. He was causing the deaf to be able to hear. He was causing the lame to be able to walk, the dumb to be able to talk. He was performing all kind of miracles. He had healed the man that had leprosy. He had the lady who had the issue of blood for 12 long years, and he healed her just simply by being in her presence. She said, you know, if I could just get close enough, I know the crowd is just really just all around him, but if I can just get close enough to touch the hem of his garment. Boy, I wish I had more time to stay right there, because some of you are asking God to do certain things and he just wants you to get close enough for him to take care of it. But there was quite a crowd. The Bible calls it a tumultuous crowd. And as the crowd began to gather around him, they began to cry out to him, and they began to ask him to do this and to do that. And so finally, as the crowd was in an uproar, Jesus stepped out and he said to them, "What are you here for?" What are you here for? They begin to say, we come here because I know that I'm done. They say, okay. So you're believers. You believe. You've seen what I can do. Who am I talking to in here? You're a believer. You've seen what God can do. So this is what he says. Okay, you've seen what I can do now. He gives an instruction. And in verse 28 of chapter number 11 of Matthew, he says, "Come unto me, all ye that labored and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I like this because, see, the first thing Jesus did was he gave an instruction. And when he gave that instruction, then the next thing he did was he described who his target audience was. The instruction was, "Come unto me." The target audience was all of ye who are labored and heavy laden. And then he followed it up with number 3. He gave a promise. Those of you who are taking notes, I'm going to give that to you again. He gave an instruction. He described his target audience. So in other words, he said who he was talking to. And then he gave the promise. You can't skip steps with God. So many times we want to take the shortcut. We live in this day and age where everything is just readily available to us. We live in a day and age, if you don't feel like cooking, you get DoorDash. If you don't feel like doing anything, you go through the drive-thru. There's so many different things. My brother was telling me yesterday, he came over, we were watching football, and he said, "Hey, I see the designs on your carpet there, man." He said, "You got the robot vac?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know they made them for carpet." "Yeah, man, I got one, man, and it does a great job." We live in a day and age where we don't have to do nothing. I thought he was lazy for that, too. So, Mom, don't tell Ty I said that. Oh, oops, and I done gave his name. Oh, Lord. Y'all leave my brother alone with his lazy self. But anyway, we find that we live in a day and age where Burger King says you can have it your way right away. We live in a day and age where, Demeek, I'm coming down your alley. You can go to McDonald's and tell them I want 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. We can have things the way we want. But Jesus says, no, I'm going to give you specific instructions, and you must follow them to obtain the promises of God. You can't skip steps. But I notice here that he tells us how to cash in on the promise. In verse 29, he says, this is how you cash in on the promise. Hank, he says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. I am meek and lowly. I'm humble. Meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest for your souls. Verse 30, he says, for my yoke is easy. My yoke is man. Okay, let me just do it this way, because some of y'all don't know what a yoke is. Yoke comes from the Greek word zugos, and zugos is just simply a word that says, so it's often metaphorically used to describe the obligations and burdens that are placed on individuals. See, we would always say when it talks about the yoke, we think of the yoke of the oxen, and that's where you have two oxen side by side, and they create this balance beam, and they put that over their necks to keep the ride balanced for them to pull the weight. But here, when Jesus is speaking of a yoke, he's speaking metaphorically, saying about all of the different things in life that we have to juggle and that we have to balance that find us weighed down. Am I talking to anybody who is juggling things in life and it has you weighed down? He says, I'm talking about even the expectations of the religious law, the expectations of societal expectations, the hustle and bustle of everyday life, the spiritual commitments that we are faced with. Anybody faced with spiritual commitments, religious law, societal expectations, all these things are placed on you, and all of these burdens of expectation typically begin to wear you down. Old church used to say, I've been running for Jesus for a long time, and I'm not tired yet. But can we just keep it real? Is there anybody who can be honest enough to say, God, from time to time, I get tired? Tired of putting on a fake face. I'm tired of smiling. I'm tired of putting on the mask and acting like I got everything figured out, acting like I've been jogging with Jesus when really I'm struggling from day to day just to get up out of the bed. Society wants me to do this. My kids want me to do that. My husband or my wife want me to do this or that. My job places all these expectations on me. And God, I'm tired. I'm only talking to the people who are tired. I know it's a new year and we're supposed to act like everything's figured out. So we begin to say that I got these resolutions that I placed, and that's going to help me to not be tired. But a resolution is nothing but a resolution if you don't apply yourself to it. I'm sick of people making these resolutions, and I say, what's your New Year's resolution? Okay, well, I'm going to lose weight. What does that look like? I'm going to save money. What does that look like? I hate to tell you, but if you just made a resolution and left yourself with a way out without a target, you'll never know when you hit the target, and you'll never know when you miss the target. So it makes it easy to quit. I'm going to read my Bible more. What's that look like? I'm going to study more. What's that look like? What is your goal? What's your target? Jesus says here that I know your burden. I know your burden is heavy. I know your way gets rough. I know your hills are sometimes hard to climb. I think of Caillou when he would go up that levee with that weighted vest on. Because me as his father, the love I had for him, the times when he wanted to quit, I wanted to be able to say, okay, son, take a break, take a break. Oh, but the love that I had for the goal that he had made me push him a little further. It made me say, son, you can do it. And I don't know, but I just believe that right now, God as your father is saying, just keep going. You can do it. I know you're tired. I know it hurts. I know it's saddening. But if you can just push. But Rick, if I could be real, y'all messing me up because I see all these people tearing up. And I'm feeling it with you because you just feel like I just have to fit into society and act like I'm good when I'm not. I'm really hurting on the inside because what happened to me devastated me. But I still got to say through it all, God, I trust you. And then sometimes there's the ones who say, with this burden of expectation that's been placed on me, sometimes I feel like I just can't get it right. Anybody just ever feel like you just can't get it right? You're really, really trying, but you just feel like I can't get it right. I'm told that when somebody does me wrong, the instruction that I've been given is to pray for them. Gee, thanks. They say if somebody smote you on the one cheek, I got to turn the other cheek. Now I see Kia and Kaylee both looked at each other like, I wish I would. Baby, listen, it's not talking about an actual physical slap, baby. But it's talking about if somebody disrespects you to the point that they tear you up one side turn and offer them the other side. It's not talking about a physical slap. It's talking about people attacking your character. Oh, but when you know who you really are, you can tell them just keep on going. You can say whatever you want. It's not going to stop me. I know where I'm going. I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know what I am. I know why I am. And I'm just going to keep pressing. I'm told that, Nathan, I'm told I shouldn't defend myself. Believe that, Henry? I'm not allowed to defend myself. I must define myself. See, when I defend myself, that means that whatever you say to me, I got to have a clap back, and my clap back is on swole so I can come back and tell you, no, hold on. I really ain't like that because I'm really like this. But when I define myself, I just, bless you, I just keep it moving. I don't have to tell you who I am. I can show you who I am because actions speak louder than words. And one thing that I learned a long time ago is if you got to defend yourself, you either a liar or a lawyer. And if you ain't got no law degree through process of elimination, you tell me what you are. I've been told that I'm not allowed to exchange evil for evil. But I must exchange evil for good. Get this, elder, get this. I'm told that I must pray for those who despitefully use me. Woo! I'm told that I must love my haters and my enemies. I said, God, why in the world do I have to love my enemies? Why do I have to define myself and not defend myself? He said, put them together. When you define yourself in front of your enemies, it's because I will place a table before you in the presence of your enemies. But I'll anoint your head with oil. Your cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life, and you shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I don't have to defend myself. Woo! But at times I just can be honest and say I don't feel like I can just get this thing right. Anybody ever feel that you can't get it right? You ever feel like no matter how hard you try, it seems like you take one step forward and you take 2 steps back? Well, if that's you and that's how you feel, I'm here to tell you that right now enough is enough. And that's not going to happen in this year. Anybody determined to get all that God has for them in this year? We call this, Zach, get this, we call this the year of 2020 Thrive. I know it's 2025, but when you exchange it, it does something to me. 2020 Thrive. I mean, because in 2024, the year of the door, I kind of just maintained. I kind of just stayed afloat. I kind of just kept it going. I kind of just survived. But in this year, I don't want to survive. In this year, I want to thrive. In this year, I want to blow my haters' mind. In this year, I want to be more dedicated to God. In this year, I want to get everything He wants me to have. Somebody shout, I will thrive in 2025. I will thrive in 2025. Let me try this again. See, Pastor Steve, I think what has happened is they don't get excited about the word thrive because maybe they don't know what the word thrive really means. You know, I was watching I think it was Safe Auto commercial or something. I don't know. And so there was like 5 adults all standing around the island in this kitchen. And they were talking about different things. And the one guy said that it's really great for the economy. And a little boy said, what's the economy mean? The one brother said, oh, it means so many things. The other guy said, oh, economy, oh, wow, where can I begin? The other one said, oh, economy. And the little boy said, I'll just look it up. So maybe perhaps you really don't know what thrive means. Just like the little boy didn't know what economy means. So I'm going to help you. I already looked it up. I'm not going to do like they did that little boy. I'm not going to try to play it off. I'm going to say I did my homework. And the word thrive just simply means to prosper. The word thrive, it means to bloom where you have been planted. Oh my goodness, Mama, the scripture tells me that I'm to bloom where I've been planted. It doesn't matter where He plants me. I must bloom. I must flourish. I must stand out. Pastor Ryan told us last week that I'm like that city that is on a hill that cannot be hid. Just simply means I gotta let my light shine. We were taught as little kids, hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. They taught us like this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. The word thrive just simply means to develop. It just simply means to grow up. It means to increase. It means to succeed. And I don't know about you, but I want to succeed this year. I don't know about you, but I want to be blessed beyond measure this year. I don't know about you, but I want to be closer to God this year. I don't know about you, but I want to hear God say to me one day, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter thou into the joys of the Lord. Kaylee, get this. We're going to get out of here. Now, I told you I was just going to talk. Now I'm out of breath. But I got to give me a drink before I hit this next part. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Somebody say in 2025, I will thrive. I will thrive in 2025. I will thrive in 2025. All right, get this. I love it that I could just be myself at the church. I mean, I just love it. I don't want to be in a place where you got to be all dignified and, you know, you've been taught there's a certain time when you take a drink, and there's a certain time when, you know, I'm human, I get thirsty. And when I get thirsty, I want to get me something to drink. I ain't trying to impress nobody. I'm just trying to deliver a word that God gave me. And in the middle of my word, if I get thirsty, the Bible tells me that he that hungers and thirsts after righteousness shall be filled. So I got me a drink. Oh, but Kaylee, get this. Demeek said, take another one. Hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm going to get another one. Kaylee, get this. At the beginning, I asked y'all, the topic was, what did you come here for? Right? You know, I think after this message here, I believe I came up with an answer. I don't know if you did or not, but I think I came up with an answer of what I came here for. And in case you didn't come up with an answer, maybe I can help you out and you can just copy paste one of my answers. Oh, but to answer the question, what did I come here for? I came here for my freedom. I came here for my deliverance. I came here for my breakthrough. I came here for my victory. I came here for my family. I came here for my marriage. I came here for my friends. I came here for my children. I came here for my legacy. I came here for my salvation. I came here for my purpose. I came here to get all that God has for me. And Julie, get this. I won't leave without it. Stand to your feet all over this. Can declare, I won't leave without it. I will thrive in 2025. I will thrive in 2025. Come on, y'all. I will. One more time. Let God hear it. Here, I'll thrive in 2025. Kiera, I really believe this is your year. Everything you've asked God to do in concern with your babies, guess what? He's done it. And I feel like God is saying, I've done everything you wanted me to do. I don't want it just to be like I'm singling her out. So that applies to each and every one of us. I've done what you wanted me to do. And now it's time for you to do what I want you to do. And what I want you to do is I want you to thrive. I want you to get everything that I planned for you to get. I want you to come unto me, all you who are labored and are heavy laden, all you who are tired, all you who are just worn out and weary from your journey. I want you to come unto me and I will give you rest. But for me to give you rest, you're going to have to make the exchange of weight. Give me your heavy weight and I will give you a lighter weight, a weight that you can carry with you. Dear God, we thank you. Oh, God, we thank you. God, we thank you because from the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, your name is worthy to be praised. You are such an amazing supreme God. We thank you because you are the King of kings. You are the Lord of lords. You are the great I am. You're the lily of the valley. You're the bright and morning star. You are the one who was, the one who is, and the one who is still yet to come. You are the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. You are that rose and Sharon. You are that balm in Gilead. You are the healer of our bodies, God. You are a miracle worker, God. You are a problem solver, God. You are a promise keeper, God, and we realize that we are nothing without you. Oh, but we can do everything through you who gives us the strength. So, God, strengthen your people. Allow them to turn their resolution into a declaration. Resolution has an option, but a declaration is established. Allow it to be so. God, you say that if we could just touch and agree on a thing, that you will be right there in the midst. God, I'm asking you right now, if you can bind us together with cords that cannot be broken. God, bind us together in love. We'll ever praise and thank you because you're worthy, God. You are better to us than what we've been to ourselves. We thank you because you allowed us to see another year that we didn't have any business being able to see, God, but you blessed us anyhow. So, God, let us be that light. Let us do like Pastor Ryan said last week and to realize that it's bigger than me. But even though it's bigger than me, my blessings are tailor-made for me. And, God, I know you have a blessing with our name on it. So we count it all done, God. We're asking you right now that even though we're not having a standard altar call this morning, God, I'm turning this whole building into an altar. And right now, I just see somebody throwing the weight off of their shoulder. I see somebody in the spirit right now taking that heavy weighted vest off of them and throwing it at your feet all over this place. And I just choose to believe that they're not going to pick it back up. They're not going to adjust the pain from one shoulder to the next, but they're going to leave it there for you to take care of it. And when they leave this place, they will say that it was good to have been in the house of the Lord. And dear God, we'll ever praise and thank you. Matter of fact, we